And is he a guy temperamentally suited for Fenway Park? And I never would have brought that into the discussion in years past, but given what we've seen from various other players in recent seasons who seemed to struggle at Fenway Park because of the fans, the media, the talk shows, Lobel pushing the panic button on TV, I don't know. But you can't just assume that guys' stats on other teams transfer to Fenway Park.
Yeah, but come on, Steve. You can't give everybody the Briggs-Myers test before they come to Boston, or the Rorschach test of, can they play? And sometimes you just got to step up and, here's a glove, go out and play baseball. Get over it.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. But like I said, recent history has told me otherwise. Now, going back to another point that one of you guys made, as far as Gonzalez playing first and Youkilis playing third, and I forget which one of you said it, but a tandem of Lowell and Ortiz DHing, I have to assume that if they went out and got Gonzalez, they would have to trade Lowell or Ortiz or move one of them in some fashion. Lowell's got 1 year remaining at $12 million, and I knew going into the winter meetings that they were going to shop him because they shopped him last winter when they were going on up to Teixeira. And he's affordable for a team that wants to pick up a guy for 1 year. I'm guessing the Red Sox would eat up $5.5, $6 million in that contract. And if I'm another team that's one bat away, and I need a guy that can play a little first, a little third, a little DH, and it would cost you $6 million, I'd go out and get Mike Lowell. And I guarantee you, if they get Gonzalez or some reasonable facsimile that results in Youkilis going to third base, they'll eat half of Lowell's remaining year and trade him.
At least half, because the other thing that Lowell brings in, he brings in a great clubhouse presence, and there's a lot to be said for that. I mean, part of the chemistry issue is, as you well pointed out, we've seen it at shortstop over and over. But I think that was one of the reasons why the Yankees felt so comfortable making the deal for Granderson. Granderson's the kind of guy who can deal with the spotlight and will love the spotlight in New York.
Well, the question now, I guess it boils down to, what's it going to cost the Red Sox to force San Diego to make a Gonzalez trade? I mean, what are you willing to give up? What are they willing to take? They got him for short money now, which you can look at it two ways. It's an advantage to the team that's getting them. It's an advantage to you to keep them. The question is, can you improve your ball club substantially by dealing him to a team with like a prospect-rich Boston?
Well, here's where it gets interesting, Bob, because it's a known fact that teams will artificially inflate the status of a certain prospect to help create a buzz in a market and so forth. And if all of a sudden a certain team is talking about prospect A, B, or C, and you get the feeling that maybe you've seen the prospect or heard from your own scouts, this is the media, that they're maybe not that high on a guy, and all of a sudden everyone's talking about him, a la Michael Bowden a few years ago. Well, the issue here is if the Red Sox are artificially inflating a prospect within the baseball community to create a buzz, well, one of the guys who would have been responsible for creating that buzz is now at the San Diego Padres, and of course I speak for Jed Hoyer. Jed Hoyer was an assistant to Theo Epstein in the Red Sox for several years, a bright young guy out of Wesleyan.
Great
was
guy.
With the organization
Great guy.
Great guy. Well, now he runs the San Diego Padres. He is as every bit the knowledge of the Red Sox farm system that Theo Epstein has right now. Plus, his new assistant is Jason McLeod, who is a scouting and minor league guy for the Red Sox. So you've got Jason McLeod and Jed Hoyer sitting down, poring over whatever prospects the Red Sox would offer for Adrian Gonzalez, and you're not going to pull the wool over their eyes because these guys were in on those hearings and those meetings, rather, when they were building up these prospects.
Excellent point. I'll tell you something else, Buck. Not only that, Hoyer will be under great scrutiny. This will be his first deal in San Diego. He's got to make a good deal, and he's got to put fannies in the seats. If he makes what appears to be a one-sided deal with the Red Sox, everybody will be suspicious. My feeling is
like the Kevin McHale, Minnesota.
Right, exactly.
Right.
I mean,
take Kevin Garnett. We don't need him.
My feeling is that any deal with the Padres needs to begin with Buchholz, and my key factor is Jacoby Ellsbury. To me, Ellsbury is a replaceable commodity, and he would be somebody that would be attractive to the Padres would be appealing. Those two would you'd have an everyday player, you'd have somebody in your rotation, and they would probably have to throw a kid in as well.
Well, I mean, I don't want this to sound like not high on Jacoby Ellsbury, because I certainly am. I mean, he's a very exciting young player to watch.
It's because I'm high on Jacoby that I believe that that's a good deal.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is that I'm not downgrading my opinion of Jacoby Ellsbury. I'm simply saying that I'm very high on Gonzalez and the Padres, and I would be willing to trade Jacoby Ellsbury for an Adrian Gonzalez if that's what it took to make it. And again, I wouldn't want someone coming out of this dialogue saying, "Oh, Buck's not high on Jacoby Ellsbury. He's an outstanding young ball player."
I'm going to say that
Adrian Gonzalez is a very special player, though.
Right.
Don't worry, Buck. I'm going to say that. Just like they blamed you for running Nomar out of town.
Yeah, and I'm still fighting that cause. What can I do?
Hey,
it's my cross to bear, Bob.
I'm on your side on that one, babe. That's it. Well, listen, it was great having you on, and good luck with the book, and thanks for your...
hey, do I have 30 seconds to tell you something real quick?
The answer,
Are you up against
it's up to Bill Chuck.
No, it's fine. It's fine. As a matter of fact, I was going to ask you, besides telling everybody that you do a great job writing for the Herald, if you could be kind enough add to that 30 seconds, and if you'd mention the name of the book one more time, if it's not too much trouble.
The name of the book is Wicked Good Year, How the Red Sox, Patriots, and Celtics Turned the Hub of the Universe into the Capital of Sports. Now, you guys are aware, you said so at the beginning of this interview, the Red Sox have now two pitchers with the exact same name, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, in 1962, this is one of those old Buckley stories.
Bob Miller.
In 1962, the New York Mets had two pitchers named Bob Miller. And the famous story is that Casey Stengel picked up the phone, called the bullpen, and he said, "Get Bob Miller up," because the Mets are on their way to losing 120 games. The bullpen coach says, "Well, one," and Casey Stengel says, "Surprise me."
That's perfect. Absolutely.
And they won all of 40 games, and I'm not talking about between the two Millers, between all the Mets put together.
Exactly.
Buck, thanking you, sir.
Take care of yourself, gentlemen.
All right, Stephen. Thanks a lot. Great job. Great job. Bill Chuck, I guess
we're hoping...
again, I think the Red Sox don't do anything, once again, panic in the streets.
You know, it's interesting. In
today's expectations. Go ahead.
Today's papers, Theo spoke a lot about this bridge to 2012. And I don't know whether his job is to lower expectations so that when he makes a deal, everybody is thrilled with it. But they do have 3 slots in their 40-man roster open. They've got they're signing relief pitchers left and right, which makes you wonder if a guy like Manny Del Carmen might be included in a